And we now want to go to a story that's developing today. We know now more about the 4 people who were found dead last week near the Manitoba border with the United States. The bodies were found on January 19th in the snow near Emerson, Manitoba, just meters from the border. American officials then said they believed them to be a family which was separated from a larger group trying to cross into the U.S. Shortly afterwards, a Florida man was charged with human smuggling in connection to the deaths. And just last hour, the RCMP released their identities, confirming they were all members of the same family and all Indian nationals.
They are Jagdish Kumar Patel, a 39-year-old male. Vishaliban Patel, a 37-year-old female. Vihangji Patel, an 11-year-old female. And Dharmik Patel, a 3-year-old male. They are all from the same family and are all Indian nationals. The medical examiner's office also confirmed that the cause of death was due to exposure.
And so for more on this, we want to turn now to the CBC's Cameron McIntosh. He's been following this story for us from Winnipeg. Okay, Cam, so what more did we learn from officials today?
Well, the RCMP aren't getting into great detail about their investigation. In fact, they're saying that they don't have a lot to go on right now, and they're not really getting very deep into what they may already know. But they are saying that the Patel family did arrive in Canada from India in Toronto on January the 12th. Somehow they made their way to Emerson, Manitoba on the 18th. Their bodies were discovered on the morning of the 19th, just about 12 meters off from the U.S. border. So numerous times in that press conference when asked about, how this family may have got here, who may have helped them, the RCMP repeated again and again that they're looking to the public for information. So they've released a photo, or they've confirmed that a photo that's been circulating is that family. They're asking anyone basically in between Winnipeg and Toronto if they might have seen this family or interacted with this family. So they're talking about, potentially people at gas stations, hotels, restaurants, all that sort of thing. What is clear in our conversation with the community here in Winnipeg is no one in Winnipeg seems to have known who these people were, at least not within the Indian community. So how much help they may have had getting from Toronto to Winnipeg and how they actually got to Emerson, the RCMP are still saying is a focus of the investigation. They didn't find an abandoned vehicle in Emerson, so they're theorizing, or they're speculating today, that someone did give them a ride, at least from Winnipeg down to Emerson. And they are saying that they believe that this is part of a broader human smuggling ring. To which degree that ring was actually operating in Canada, or whether Canadians were involved in operating it, is something that they say they don't know right now.
It is our belief that people had interactions with the Patel family during their stay in Canada. This can include hotel, gas station, or restaurant employees. We need anyone who had interaction with the Patel family or has information about their journey to the border to think about what they went through and to step forward.
So that appeal coming from the RCMP, and you heard them there, appealing to people to think about what they went through. The conditions that night when they tried to cross the border were absolutely horrendous here. Blizzard conditions, minus 35 wind chill, conditions where skin can freeze in moments. And it's believed that this family and 7 other people who did make it across the border were out in these conditions for more than 11 hours. So the RCMP, again, calling the family victims today, and again, saying that they believe that this is part of a larger, more organized human smuggling operation.
Cam, you had mentioned that the investigation is quite complicated. We know that it's involving multiple countries. So maybe can you break down for us what we heard about that?
Yeah, and that's just it. It's complicated on a number of fronts. It begins with a family found dead here near an international border and someone arrested on the other side of that border. So here the RCMP are focusing on how this family got here, their movements, and how they came to be in the situation they came to be in. In the United States, a 47-year-old man from Florida has been charged with human trafficking. On Monday, he had a hearing. He's been released on bail. He'll face, on a promise to appear back in court in Minnesota at a future date. It hasn't been set yet. And we're hearing reporting out of India that 6 people in India have been arrested, connected to a travel business in relation to the disappearance of this family. So you put all that together, the RCMP say, okay, they're working with Indian police, they're working with Homeland Security, they're working with U.S. Border Agency, they're working with the Canadian Border Service as well. So there's a lot of agencies, there's a lot of international cooperation that has to come through here. It's not really clear who really leads this, at least not from what the RCMP said today. But one thing that's interesting, and if there's one discrepancy in this, or if there's one thing when it comes down to the perspectives of these different agencies, it's between Canada and the United States. On one hand, the RCMP said last week and said again today that it didn't really know about other instances or about operations that may be taking people and moving them north to south from Manitoba into the United States. On the American side, you get a little bit of a different perspective. Homeland Security has indicated to us that they have seen this and they believe that there are other cases of it. So it gives you a little bit of a understanding of kind of the different perspectives these agencies are coming at this with.
Thanks so much for this, Cam. That is the CBC's Cameron McIntosh reporting to us from Winnipeg.